Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I wanted to come to you really quick today to do a video on MyFitnessPal. I want to give you I'm going to do a review on it. I want to give you my opinion of it because I've been hearing more lately about MyFitnessPal, and so I said, I'm going to try it and I'm going to see what I think of it. And I want to give you my honest opinion of it, because you may be one who has tried everything that you can think of to lose weight. Maybe you've tried, there's so many diets out there, I'm not even going to start naming them, but maybe you feel like you've tried everything, you're at your wit's end, and you don't know what else to do to lose a few pounds or to lose the weight that you want to lose. So my advice to you, my recommendation to you is to try MyFitnessPal, okay? It has its pros, it has its cons, in my opinion, and I'm going to let you know what those are. So I'm going to back up to the beginning. So when I first tried MyFitnessPal, of course, it's because I'm looking to lose a few pounds. Think my starting weight, which I had to guess, and they recommend that you don't guess, which is a good recommendation. You shouldn't be guessing because you want it to be accurate so that you really know where you started, so you know when you end up what you actually lost. But for me, I was not really worried about that. I just wanted to see if MyFitnessPal was going to do anything for me. So I had to put in a guesstimate weight, which I put in 145. And then it will ask you, your height, your weight, your goal weight, your activity level, and how much you want to lose a week. I think it gives you like a choice of a half a pound, 2 pounds, that kind of thing. So I put in the 2 pounds because I'm thinking, if I can lose 2 pounds a week, I'll be golden, right? So having done all of that, answering all those questions, honestly, I put that in and it gave me my budget of calories for 1,200 calories a day, okay? It also gives you a time of when you can expect to have lost or to have reached your goal weight. Okay, so what do I think the pros of MyFitnessPal are? I like it. For the most part, I actually love it. I have been tracking my food now for about 10 days, and you really have to be disciplined to have this work for you. This only works as hard as you do, okay? So for the first 8 days, I was almost obsessed with it. Like, I know I got on my husband's nerves because I would not sit down to eat until I had tracked everything. Like I said to myself, if you don't write it, you don't bite it, okay? You're not putting it in your mouth until it's in this app. And that's what I was living by for like 8 days. And it was fun. It was really fun. Another thing that I like about it is you can scan things. So like if you've bought a package of something, you can scan the barcode and it will bring it up. And that's easy peasy to me. You scan it, it brings up the serving size, it tells you how many calories you're eating, and it subtracts from your daily budget of calories, okay? So I really like that about it. I also like that at the end of the day, it will tell you if you continue on the track like this, in just say 5 weeks, you will weigh, and it'll tell you what you're estimated to weigh. So if the weight is going up, then you didn't eat so good that day. If it's going down in the direction that you want, you're on the right track. Continue on doing the same, continue on doing what you're doing. So it does give you some direction. I also like because at the end of the day, if you hit your nutrition tab after you have entered your last meal, it will show you everything that you have had for that day. Cholesterol, sugars, carbs, it shows you everything. And so one thing that it made me realize was that sometimes we can get so caught up in these other diets, only tracking carbs, only tracking fat, only tracking certain things, that you don't even realize what else you're doing. Like, I know a lot of times we say we want to lose weight, but really what we want to lose is bloat. We're bloated, you know? And so when you don't realize how much sodium you're taking in, you know, carbs may not be your problem. It might be sodium. Sometimes when you're only tracking carbs, you don't realize how many calories you're eating. Another thing I like, this is a pro and a con. So, like for me, it gave me 1,200 calories that I could eat a day. If you have your, like I have my watch, this is my my watch. It is linked to my phone. And then I also have the MyFitnessPal app. You know, it's all linked up together. So when I do a workout, it takes into consideration that workout. So if I do a 30-minute workout, it may give me 250 extra calories that I can eat a day. That's good maybe if it's like a weekend or something, but if it's during the week, I don't like to feel like I am eating my workout. You know what I mean? It's kind of like getting paid but then spending it instead of getting paid and saving it so that you'll have something to show for it later. Because honestly, if you work out and you're burning more calories than you're, you know, if you're burning more calories than you're eating, that's when you're going to lose the weight. So I did, and you can cut that off. You can cut that feature off in the app, and I did end up cutting it off because there were a couple of days that I was like, oh wow, I've got 1,300 calories now, you know, and I can eat a little extra. And I'm like, no, this is not what we want to do. So I cut that off because I don't want to be given credit for my workout just so that I can eat more. So I cut that off. So that's good and bad. Because for some people, it may make them work out more to say, well, if I work out twice as long, twice as hard, then I can eat more. If that's your motivation, then I'd say leave that feature on. But I know for myself, it just makes me it feels like I'm defeating my purpose for doing what I'm doing. Something else that I liked about the app. I feel like the app made me, like I said, it made me aware of everything that I was eating. It made me have a little bit of a different relationship with food because I was very, very precise in times. There would be some mornings where I would wake up and I would say, okay, I've got 1,200 calories and, you know, I'm not going to have this much for breakfast because I want to have a 600 calorie lunch and a 600 calorie dinner. You know, I want to eat a lot tonight. Or I would say, I'm not really feeling like I'm going to want a lot for dinner tonight, so I can have a larger lunch and a large breakfast. You can break it up however you want, as long as by the time you are done for the day, you're within your calories, okay? So that was something I liked about it. Something else I liked about it was it does not restrict any food groups. So you can eat bread, you can eat rice, you can eat your pasta, you can eat anything as long as it's within your calories. All right, so now I'm going to jump into what I didn't like about it. What I didn't like about it was, like I said, it can be time consuming to enter everything every time because it only works for you as hard as you work. So if you're not tracking everything that you put in your mouth, then MyFitnessPal doesn't know that and you're giving yourself false information, okay? If you're only tracking 2 meals, you know, it's going to tell you that in 5 weeks you should be at your goal weight. You're not going to be there if you're not tracking everything. So you have to be honest with it. Like I said, it can be time consuming to put all of that in there. That was kind of one con for me, but you can't get around it. You know, that's just is what it is. Probably my other biggest thing that I didn't like about it was that sometimes, depending on what you're eating, and of course that's all up to you, but depending on what you're eating, sometimes not everything is going to be accurate, okay? Because if you are, my example was my daughter fixed dinner for us one night, and she had breadsticks, she had pasta, and she had chicken. It was a garlic chicken dish, okay? And I had kind of saved my appetite for that meal. But when I sat down to eat, I didn't even know what to put in MyFitnessPal. And I was sad. The only thing that I could really track was the breadstick. And instead of me having the pasta, I had a green, I think it's Green Giant, those little cauliflower, rice cauliflower. I ate that instead of the pasta. So I was able to scan those two things, but as far as the chicken dish, and that was so good. It was so good. She could have been a chef. But anyway, I probably overate on that because, you know, I had probably a cup and a half probably of chicken, and I have no idea how many calories was in that. But by the way it tasted, it was probably loaded with calories. It was so good. I asked her not to make it again. That's how good it was, because I was like, I don't know how to stop eating this. It was that good. So that's probably the con for me of MyFitnessPal, is if it's not a recipe that you've made and, you know, you don't go through and put in that recipe and it figure out those calories for you, then it's kind of hard to just eat a random dish and to be able to accurately track what you're eating. So my recommendation would be, if you're seriously going to do this, you know, my advice would be to only eat foods that you can scan, or only eat foods that you can definitely type in and it knows what you're talking about, like an apple, you know, medium apple, a boiled egg, you know, what else? Something, a lemon, you know, maybe, you know, veggies, that kind of thing. So yeah, that would be the only con that I really have, is if you can't scan it, if it's a recipe, you're going to kind of be putting in just the closest thing to it, but maybe not accurately. And I only really feel successful on it if I know that I'm putting in exactly what I'm eating. So for the past couple of days, I have kind of fallen off because we went into the weekend and we ate at a restaurant that I couldn't track that, you know, I couldn't track it. And then, like I said, my daughter fixed that dish. I couldn't track it accurately. And so for me, that kind of discourages me, because I'm like, oh, for 8 days straight, I've been good. And now all of a sudden I can't track these things accurately. And I just kind of say, you know, I'll start again tomorrow, that kind of thing. That's the only con that I have. But, you know, my fix to that is just going to be to get back on foods that I can scan, that I can type in, and it knows what I'm talking about. And honestly, when I do that, I do see a difference in my body. I haven't been able to weigh myself because my scale is not working, but I can tell by my clothes. I can tell by my belly. I can tell by my gut. You know, I can tell by everything. So anyway, that's my honest opinion of MyFitnessPal. If you are trying to lose weight and you've tried everything else, try MyFitnessPal. And I can almost guarantee you that if you're ready to be serious about losing weight and you have time to track what you're going to eat, that's your thing to do. So anyway, I'm not going to prolong this video any further. I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Please don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, I love you guys. Mwah.